David Risley here with davidrisley.com with the fourth and final blog evaluation or website critique. This one for Newt Gingrich. I've already looked at Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, and Rick Santorum. This one I'm looking at Newt Gingrich. Now, based on the same criteria that I've already looked at with the other three GOP candidates, I will just look at this one. First of all, I mean, it's got the dark background. I'm not a huge fan of the dark background, but I mean, whatever. Just mainly an opinion. Strictly from a conversion standpoint, though, let's look at this. First of all, he's the only GOP candidate that I've seen so far that has an email sign up on the home page that does not require me to click into anything. This is the only one that acts like Barack Obama's campaign. So this is very smart, and kudos to Gingrich's campaign for doing that, because I don't know why the other people don't do it. It's not like it's difficult to put a simple email sign up on a homepage. I also like the fact that their calls to action are pretty darn noticeable. I mean, you can see they're all using red for call to action, which is fine. I mean, especially with a whole red, white, and blue theme that goes along with politics. But it's very noticeable. If you compared this to Rick Santorum's site, they were pretty not that noticeable. Even though they were red, they were very kind of faint. You look at Barack Obama's site, and there's big red buttons there, and so this one is the same thing. Now they're letters, and they're not quite as obvious, but they're still really obvious. They're very much above the fold, and they highlight red when you go over them, so that's great. The donate today red in the menu, so I think it works very well. They are using the slider. I'm not a big fan of the sliders. However, he's only got 2 of them in there. I personally think they could do without it, but whatever. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. From an aesthetics viewpoint, it definitely has its place. Let's just leave it at that. Moving down, I mean, it's the news style stuff, which you pretty much have to do, and everybody else is pretty much doing this as well. So they got the Newt gear, which reminds me of the Ron Paul website. Let's see what Make the Call does. This should do something different than this, because being that I don't know what this Make the Call thing does, I'm faced with a login here. It doesn't really describe to me what this is all about, so I think they're kind of dropping the ball with that. I really don't know what that is. But the rest of the site, just from a conversion standpoint, makes sense. I think they're doing a pretty decent job with it. See, donate. Good, makes sense. Join now. Again, email, zip code, makes a lot of sense. There's not a bunch of address and all that crap that Rick Santorum's site has, which is just too much stuff to fill out. Just name and zip code. That's really all is needed here. The less form fields that one could fill out, the more likely they are to actually fill it out. So I think Newt's is actually doing a pretty good job. If I had to so far rank them, I would probably put Newt and Ron Paul at the top of the mix in terms of conversion. I mean, even though Ron Paul's did not have an email sign up on the home page, I'm giving him credit for that social proof play they've got on the home page. I think it was very well done. But Newt's got the email sign up there, and the calls to action are pretty obvious. I think Mitt Romney's site's a little bit busy, and Rick Santorum has probably got the worst website of the 4 in terms of the GOP presidential candidates.